A well-known blogger was found dead in a Lamborghini in Kyiv. Odessa is without power after another Russian attack. And in Zaporizhzhia, an underground school has opened. We'll also show you where in Ukraine it's snowing heavily right now. This is TSN Online. Hello, my name is Valeria Kovalinska. Like, subscribe to our YouTube channel and click the bell so you don't miss the next news releases. In Kyiv, the body of a 32-year-old man with a gunshot wound to the head was found inside a Lamborghini Urus. A weapon was found nearby. It has been preliminarily established that the deceased was an entrepreneur and blogger whose activities were related to cryptocurrency. According to TCH's own sources in the police, this is crypto entrepreneur Kostiantin Hanic. The day before his death, the man told his loved ones that he was feeling depressed due to financial difficulties and also sent them a farewell message, law enforcement officials said. The case is being investigated under the article on premeditated murder with a note indicating suicide. A pre-trial investigation is ongoing and all the circumstances of the incident are being clarified. Kostiantin's death was confirmed on his Telegram channel. It was written there that he tragically passed away. The reasons are being determined by the investigation. They are destroying enemy equipment and manpower. Fighters of the 93rd Separate Mechanized Brigade showed how they subdued the enemy near Pokrovsk the day before. There, taking advantage of bad weather conditions, the occupiers tried to launch assaults, but they couldn't hide from the eyes of our defenders. At the same time, Ukrainian soldiers are confident that the attacks will continue today as well, so they are preparing to repel enemy assaults. Overall, over the past day, the General Staff recorded 234 combat engagements along the front. About a third of them were specifically in the Pokrovsk direction. The Russians are also actively trying to advance on the Lyman, Kostiantynivka, Kupiansk, Oleksandrivka, and southern Slobozhansky sectors. They spare neither equipment nor people, even though the enemy's losses have already exceeded 1,121,000 killed and wounded. Over the past day, Ukrainian defenders destroyed more than 20 artillery pieces, 1 tank, and over 1,000 Russian soldiers. Here is the data from the General Staff. Since the beginning of the full-scale invasion, the enemy's army has decreased by 1,121,000 soldiers. More than 11,247 tanks and 23,345 armored combat vehicles have been destroyed in the fighting. Also, 33,500 enemy artillery systems, 1,500 multiple rocket launcher systems, and 1,225 air defense systems have been destroyed. Almost 4,000 cruise missiles have been neutralized. 18 of them were shot down in the last 24 hours. To date, 427 Russian aircraft and 346 helicopters have also been destroyed. Communities in the Chernihiv region have signed a memorandum of intent to join the Association of Frontline Cities and Communities of Ukraine. The actual accession will take place after the decision is approved at the sessions of local councils. Representatives of 25 communities from the region and the mayor of Kharkiv, Ihor Terekov, gathered for the meeting in Chernihiv. He is the head of the Association of Frontline Cities and Communities of Ukraine. Communities from the Kharkiv and Sumy regions have already joined the organization. The participants believe that this association will help strengthen the resilience of frontline communities. According to the head of the Chernihiv Regional Military Administration, Vyacheslav Chaus, participation in the association will help better advocate for the interests of communities in the fields of education, retention of human resources, and industry. For example, when appealing to the president, the government, or relevant ministries, after the overnight shelling, Odessa region is introducing power outage schedules. The Russians hit a substation. An entire district was left without electricity. Emergency crews promised to restore power by the end of the day. A woman was injured. Another 24 medical workers required psychological assistance. The Russians attacked Oblenergo workers in Chernihiv region with drones. 1 person was killed and 4 others were wounded. And while dealing with the aftermath, the Russians struck again, this time hitting another energy worker's vehicle and the firefighters. 4 people were wounded in Kherson. There, a Russian drone attacked an ambulance. The driver was injured. A little later, another passerby was also wounded. 2 more victims sought help for injuries from previous attacks. In the Kharkiv region, 3 people were wounded due to enemy shelling. In Chernihiv, a business came under enemy fire. A 33-year-old employee was injured. In Semenivka, a drone wounded a married couple. In Hrushivka, private houses were damaged. The Russians killed 2 people in Serhivka, Donetsk region. 4 people were wounded in Kostiantynivka, where the occupiers struck the private sector. 2 people were injured by drones in the Sumy region as well. In Huliaipol, Zaporizhzhia region, a pensioner was killed. The Russians attacked the Frontline city with artillery and FPVs, and in Primorske, a fire broke out due to shelling. More than 800,000 families in the capital have electricity again. This was reported by DTEK. Repair work and reinforced energy teams worked continuously for almost a day, and now they are working on eliminating local outages. Water has also returned to homes, and all trams and trolleybuses are back on their usual routes. The metro is also running without delays. They have also managed to restore power to consumers in the Kyiv region. There, more than 110,000 subscribers were left without electricity. They and critically important enterprises were immediately switched to alternative energy sources after yesterday's Russian attacks. However, eliminating the consequences of the shelling and restoring power to homes in the border areas is very difficult due to the challenging security situation. To avoid overloading the system, Ukrainians are being asked to use resources rationally and not to turn on several powerful household appliances at the same time. Let me remind you, the day before, the Russians launched almost 50 missiles and drones. Once again, the main targets were energy facilities. The German constitution, in its current form, prevents the country from shooting down Russian drones in its own airspace. It turns out that Germany cannot counter such threats because of the wording that was added to the country's constitution after World War II. At that time, the document was created to prevent a repeat of the Nazi past. The Bundeswehr was prohibited from intervening in internal security matters to avoid a scenario where the army could be used, as the Nazis did, to suppress dissent and political opponents. And now some of these provisions prevent the country from properly responding to the Kremlin's aggressive actions. This was reported by Politico. Current legislation allows the Bundeswehr to shoot down drones only over military bases. The German Defense Committee emphasizes the need for legislative changes. But Chancellor Merz's coalition currently has only a slim majority in parliament, and a vote on changes to the basic law could fail. Therefore, Germany remains vulnerable to drone attacks from Russia for now. A large-scale military parade was held in Pyongyang to mark the 80th anniversary of the founding of North Korea's ruling party. During the celebrations, a new intercontinental ballistic missile was showcased, which North Korea called its most powerful nuclear weapon. It is said to be capable of covering a distance of up to 15,000 kilometers. Among the invited guests were Chinese Premier Li Qiang, a Russian delegation led by Dmitry Medvedev, and representatives from Vietnam. On the eve of the parade, Kim Jong-un met with Medvedev, who spoke approvingly about the participation of North Korean troops in the war against Ukraine. The 12th underground school has already been opened in Zaporizhzhia. More than 500 children can study offline here. They will attend classes in 2 shifts. The shelter school is equipped with restrooms and a small gym for physical exercise. All students receive free meals in the cafeteria. The food will be delivered here. Another 12 underground schools are currently being built in Zaporizhzhia region. They are also working on how to launch special transportation to bring children to the educational institutions. Special attention is given to accessibility. This school has 7 inclusive classrooms. For students with special educational needs, there is an elevator, equipped restrooms, and special braille markings.
We are very proud to announce that we have successfully organized a dedicated mental health room specifically designed for our beloved children. Within this wonderfully calming space, they can joyfully swim in a delightful dry pool, lovingly cuddle with incredibly soft toys, creatively draw with captivating sand animation, peacefully observe the mesmerizing bubble column, and truly enjoy many, many other wonderfully interesting and engaging activities. We care about our children, about all of them.
In the white captivity of the Carpathian highlands, snow is falling heavily. On Mount Pip Ivan, there are huge snowdrifts. It's impossible to tell where the earth ends and the sky begins, and the wind up there is raging in earnest. The air temperature has already dropped to -5. So, for now, it's better to postpone trips to the peaks, say the rescuers. In the lowlands, it's not snowing yet. Instead, it's being washed by rain. Today, the rain will sprinkle the entire territory of our country. However, tomorrow the sun will break through the clouds. In some places, thermometers will show up to 16 degrees above zero. Almost 130,000 Ukrainians have already fallen ill with acute respiratory diseases. This is how the new epidemic season has started. It will last until May 2026. Currently, Ukrainians are suffering from RV and COVID. 76,000 of those who got sick are children. So far, this is 20% below the epidemic threshold. No cases of flu are being recorded at the moment. An increase in incidence is expected in winter. Doctors remind us it is worth getting vaccinated against the flu every year. Before the start of the epidemic season, 136,000 doses of Korean-made vaccine and 100,000 doses of French-made vaccine were delivered to Ukraine. The vaccine is paid and available in pharmacies, but COVID-19 vaccinations are free of charge. Ukrainians who have not yet been vaccinated only need 1 dose. Additional injections every 6 to 12 months are recommended for older people and those with chronic illnesses.
The seasonal rise in the incidence rate is expected as usual in January and February. There is a particular feature: the flu and COVID viruses sort of compete with each other. When there is a rise in COVID cases, flu cases go down and vice versa. But as for how things will truly be during this upcoming epidemic season, we will undoubtedly observe and understand the developments over the course of the next few months.
27 people have died in Mexico due to flooding. Tropical storms caused heavy rains and landslides. In several states, rivers overflowed, leading to power supply problems, thousands of private homes damaged, and hundreds of public facilities affected. Thousands of dumplings weighing half a ton. To set a Ukrainian record, volunteers in Dnipropetrovsk region stuffed and shaped dumplings for 5 hours. And not just for the record. The prepared semi-finished products were sent to soldiers on the front line. And it was all organized by a girl from Kamyanske, whom people in the city call the miniature volunteer. Watch how it all happened.
It sounds like a giant beehive, except here, instead of honey, there's flour and minced meat. Several hundred people are making dumplings at the same time.
We've successfully finished making them, I can assure you of that.
They roll out the dough, fill it, and pack it. Everyone has their own part of the work, which has been going on for hours already. So to chase away fatigue, they start singing a song.
Please do not look for the vibrant red rue plant in the garden during the late evening hours.
There are no professional cooks here. Everyone is a volunteer who has come from all over the district. The organizers didn't make a public announcement about the big dumpling making event for safety reasons. But the word of mouth worked perfectly. One of those eager to join in making dumplings, Natalia Jura, together with her team, has been preparing treats for the defenders for over 3 years.
We all work together as a team. Someone kneads the dough, someone makes the filling, someone shapes the dumplings, someone takes them away, someone brings more supplies. All of us, all these people you see here, together, we will achieve the goal we have set for ourselves. We did all this with heart so that our defenders could eat, enjoy, and protect us.
Organizer Olha Pomitun tries to personally oversee every step of the process. She is also the founder of the foundation that has been helping the military and displaced people since 2022.
The war continues, and unfortunately it is getting closer and closer to us. Nothing is changing, so it's hard, but we keep working.
It's hard not to notice Olha, even though she is only 1 meter and 5 centimeters tall. People like her are called crystal people. Any careless movement can result in a fracture for her because of her brittle bones. She has had this illness since childhood. It's not easy for her to move through a crowd of workers, but she manages to be everywhere.
The taste of victory is a great strength, a strength like that of our soldiers.
For a year and a half now, her team has been making dumplings for the front. They've already delivered dozens of tons.
They can easily come, load up their supplies, and in just about 3 or 4 short hours, they're out in the vast fields, diligently cooking delicious homemade dumplings in large traditional cauldrons. And they send me photos, they send me videos and say, our guys are ready to join the armed forces just for your dumplings.
This time they aimed for a record. In one day they set out to hand make half a ton of dumplings. They joked that they worked at a speed of over 100 kilograms per hour. They weighed everything down to the gram, and finally the Ukrainian record was set.
The grand total amount is exactly 539 kilograms. Congratulations on this remarkable achievement.
As soon as the record was entered into the Book of Records, the military arrived for the semi-finished products. The record-breaking dumplings are heading to the front line.
So, am I right in understanding that these can be stored for a certain period? Can they safely make it to any point in the country? Yes?
Yes, indeed, yes.
The soldiers in the unit know the taste of these volunteer dumplings well and keep asking for more and more.
The guys say, only when, just like homemade, like we used to have at home.
The volunteers say they made half a ton of dumplings, not so much for the record, but to remind Ukrainians once again, the military needs help every day, with treats, medicine, or donations. Anastasia Nevirna, Vladislav Kamishin, Dnipropetrovsk region, TSN 1+1.
With that, I am concluding this TSN broadcast. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, click the bell so you don't miss our broadcast, and don't forget to like this video. See you next time.